In the last episode of the show, Silver Sable, Hammerhead, and a slew of others were at an auction bidding for a particular item. There's one item they did not show you. The actual item they wanted more than anything else is the ability to clone hundreds of chainsaw reacts. Who wouldn't want that? Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. It's Spectacular Saturday. You know what that means, guys. It's time for us to continue the Spectacular Spider-Man. This is Season 2, Episode 9 of the show, Probable Cause. Pretty interesting title for this episode. So, the last one, which was Accomplices, was an all-out brawl, an all-out war zone, basically, throughout the whole damn city. For this tech, the introduction to Silver Sable started off with Black Cat, and then she's not seen again. A lot of stuff went down, but mostly just a lot of fighting, and Spider-Man, unfortunately, was in the middle of all of it. And I liked how they approached telling this story, because literally with how it's structured in terms of all the fights, it could have just been lost in all the mayhem, the story, but they actually did a pretty solid job of separating the two big fights in this episode, even though literally when one ends, the second big one happens pretty quickly after. But in terms of the build up to it, like with the auction, of course Black Cat trying to steal it first, but the auction, Silver Sable, and then they don't tell you right away what the actual item is. They kind of wait till about 1/3-ish into the episode to kind of tell you it's this like rhino armored tech or something to build super soldiers or whatever. Basically what makes the rhino basically almost indestructible, that like armor, basically creating that for a bunch of super soldiers or whatever in the process. And then, of course, Rhino finds out and he's like, I don't want anything to do with this. So for a brief moment, a very brief moment, Rhino and Spider-Man team up. And then, of course, it goes to crap because he's like, okay, I'm canceling our partnership. And then he goes after Spider-Man. So it's really interesting to see that for a little bit. But ultimately, I just like the fact that it was just an all-out crazy episode in terms of just a bunch of action. And also finding out Silver Sable and Hammerhead dated at one point. Okay. Didn't know any of the information, but they gave us the information anyways. My only real critique about the last episode was the fact Black Cat was only in the beginning, so I thought she was going to pop up again because she starts the damn episode, but I don't know what's going on with that. But overall, I'm loving the show. As you guys know, I'm really enjoying the ride, and I'm getting so frustrated because there's no more after Season 2. Like, the more I think about it, I'm like, there isn't any. Because literally the last episode introduced Silver freaking Sable. And it was a cool surprise. It's stuff like that that makes me go, damn it, there's no more. Like, after the Season 2 finale, it's done. It's unfortunate. It really sucks. It really does. So without further ado, guys, let's get into now Season 2, Episode 9 of the show, Probable Cause. Let's get into it and see what the show is, guys. I'm excited. Let's go. Shocker. Whoa. What the fuck?
You see, my skill enhancement suits work perfectly. And
oh.
A slight adjustment to your kinetic energy regulator, Jocker, and Fancy Dan is Ricochet.
Yeah, what's your name?
Ox.
Ox.
Well, Chief, what do you think?
I like what I see. Silvermane is being released from prison, and Dr. Octopus looms. With a gang war on the
yeah.
horizon, I must build my war chest.
That makes sense, okay.
Why am I suddenly out of the loop? With all the freaks running around, Spidey's distracted enough.
He is, but, I mean...
Control.
Control. There's things. See, he's swinging around with a book bag. Wouldn't people realize, okay, he's going to school or something, maybe?
Hey, Brown, get the ball.
Oh, no. It's like, why are we seeing this? Careful, careful. Oh, my gosh.
Front row seat at how the police operate.
Just go home and shower, man.
Gwen Stacy.
Oh, that's uncomfortable. Oh, that's uncomfortable.
Fine, it says Stinky Pete. You happy now? You two rookies ready?
Let the thrills
Yeah. Whoa.
We're not taking to say we're cool.
Spider-Man means well, probably. But when he
He
takes
does
the
mean
law
well.
into his own hands, he goes too far.
You ask me,
Oh.
Spidey hasn't gone far enough.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, 2 new villains you got to face now.
Meet the new enforcers. The new enforcers?
Yeah, the new.
Oh yeah, gotta love those heart-tugging reunion shows.
Enough, y'all. Ox, you're up.
Damn, okay, so he's got to figure out how to fight that, because that's like throwing him off.
Some believe the wearer actually takes on the personality of the mask. Whatever. Big man wants another
The wording.
supervillain. Same deal as before. Crashed your bike?
Yeah, my bike.
Yeah, people are starting to suspect that he knows.
What?
That he knows who
Back
Peter
there?
is.
A date, but not a date.
Are we on a ride along?
Ride along.
I mean, yeah, he's got a point. What are we on here?
Real bank robbery?
Social order. You cross-click lines and put some kind of geek spell on Liz. And now no one at MQ knows
geek
that place.
spell.
Even
Jesus, I was like, what's she talking about?
Is she saying no?
Dry cleaners? Why would the new enforcers rob at dry cleaners?
I mean, that's a good point.
Incoming shipment.
Oh.
You and Harry seem to be getting along great.
Yeah. This is awkward.
Make a great couple. You and Peter make a great couple too. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Okay, calm down. Trick. It's all a trick.
Owner of the dry cleaners.
I was drinking this stuff.
Yeah.
It got bad, and I had to go away.
He had to go.
Playing. Juiced? You know what this means?
So basically, he tried to open up about what happened to him, and it wasn't like him being juiced, but he took it the wrong way.
They're heading for the vault elevator.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Sketchy. You could get some good shots from behind that van.
Be careful. And stay out of sight.
Thanks. I thought we'd be stuck with him all night.
As promised, our chariot awaits.
Oh, they have a train.
Dumb. Come on. Let's show our guests a little down.
They were waiting for him. They knew he was coming. Here he comes. Great.
Follow the bouncing bad guy.
He's ricocheting. That's weird. Wow. Squash the bug. I mean, that's all he has to say, right? That's too much gold, honestly, and that's a good point. So much more gold! Yeah, there's a lot of fucking gold. Oh. That was pretty cool. Oh, ricocheting, of course, out of there. He was playing in that. He knew what he was doing. Ouch. Good. Good maneuver. Ooh.
Don't let go, Ox. He is
Don't let it go.
a little piece of meat.
Never did like to see a poor, dumb animal suffer.
Like, say, rare rabbit.
Oh. Damn. That was pretty good. Oh, he thought he was over. Not yet. Being a distraction, basically. There you go. Damn, he's got to move for everything. They think he's dead. Oh, wow. She put down the spike strip? Okay.
Did I miss much?
Peter! Wait! How come you're still alive?
Took a bathroom break?
The Mustangs championship title.
That's a giant trophy, by the way.
You had to spin. Ruin it for
He didn't spill.
It was him.
I did.
It was him. I was like, it wasn't Harry.
Title's meaningless if it's not one fair and square.
Is he going back to drink? Oh my god, he's to start drinking again. Oh no. Oh, that was cool. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. This show knows how to end its episodes. That was a great ending. Holy crap. I'll get to it in a minute, though. The focus of this episode mainly was the new enforcers, which is Ricochet and Ox working with Shocker. But also it was the fact that the students of this criminal whatever class, whatever, I forget what it's called, ran by Gwen's dad, they pulled names out of a hat, and they were going to be 2 students per a cop car and doing a ride-along. And while all this is going on, the whole ride-along and this little adventure, this little field trip, the enforcers are going around stealing shit, and Peter has to find ways to sneak away. First of all, he was late to actually showing up and starting this adventure, the field trip or whatever, the ride along, and then he had to step away, and it's very obvious, and I haven't really talked about it much in my videos, but people have been pointing out in the comments, Gwen's father pretty much knows that Peter and Spider-Man are one and the same. How does he know exactly? I don't know. But see, since he's a very smart individual, I'm guessing he's put things together and realized, yeah, because he allowed Peter to not be in the van or whatever with the police officers kind of, holding down the fort, if you will, and kind of, peering into the building or whatever where the enforcers were. Instead of going along in there, he's like, yeah, you go over there, because Peter's like, can I go behind that van and take pictures? He's like, yeah, just, stay out of sight. It's very obvious. It's very obvious. And just the certain way he just talks to Peter, it's kind of obvious. It's really cool. I don't know if he's going to fully, tell Peter he knows, but it's kind of interesting how you could just the responses and how he's responding to him, he just kind of figures it all out. So the new enforcers, Ox, which is an interesting name, okay, and Ricochet. I like how they open the episode with what it seems like a Shocker versus Ox and Ricochet fight, but it turns out, no, not at all. The big man, Tombstone, is basically just going to the hired help, as Hammerhead called it, because he was mentioning all this stuff, like Silvermane's about to get out, and Doc Ock is still, out there, basically implying that there's too much of a power struggle, potentially, and even more so when Silvermane gets out of prison, basically implying that he needs to have the upper hand on everything else. So that's why he went ahead. And then he had to point out the fact that Hammerhead failed on the tanker boat job or whatever, where Sandman was trying to go after the oil and everything just kind of fell apart. And then Hammerhead was unfortunately unable to secure the device that was needed to create the Rhino armored, super soldiers or whatever. And ultimately, even if he would have secured it, he would have gotten a fake file because Norman never actually sold it. Norman actually had the real one. He gave a fake one away. So regardless, Hammerhead would have failed. So what I like about that is that it ties into the end of the episode where he ultimately is the one who stops the new enforcers from completing a mission, even though they had a cart full of gold and they had 3 or 4 pieces of gold they were leaving with. I'm like, that's not even close to what they were grabbing. And there was still so much gold down there in that vault they actually got into. But then to see that Hammerhead's driver, which she was crazy in the last episode, she was I think she slammed the vehicle into Silver Sable, and then even Hammerhead slammed the door of his vehicle into Silver Sable. So kind of brutal shit. The driver just doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care. So she's the one who laid down the spike strips that stopped the vehicle that the enforcers were in, the new enforcers were in. And you see Hammerhead smiling as they're driving past. He's like, they stopped him. And I feel like that's something where he's trying to, I don't know, maybe he's going against Tombstone now. The big man. Maybe he's going against them now because he went against Tombstone's hired help, the new enforcers that works for Tombstone. So maybe he's going against them. Maybe Hammerhead's switching sides. I don't know. Not switching sides, but switching alliances, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, Tombstone had to point out the 2 failures he had, in which ultimately he was to blame, I guess, for the Sandman one, because, that was something that, he hired Sandman to do that job, and ultimately everything fell apart, of course. But the other job, the last episode that he was supposed to get that tech, the tech was never actually real. In terms of what was actually on that device, it wasn't real. It's all fake. So regardless, he would have lost that too. So I don't know. Maybe he's switching alliances. I don't know. I really like the action sequences throughout the episode, especially on the train car sequence. It's a small train car. So that was interesting to see where they were the Ox was pulling down the fucking ceiling and shit, and Ricochet's bouncing all around, and it's it was a lot going on inside that little area, but it was really cool because Peter tricked them all, okay, Shocker, just get it over with, just implying just kill me now. And then he does a backflip, tricks him, shoots Ox with some web in his face, and then grabs that car and then slams it out the window and uses that to just basically knock the train car off track, and they're all spinning around and shit, and it was really, really cool. And I like seeing the fact that Ricochet, like the effect they were using when he was bouncing around, especially in that elevator shaft where he grabbed Peter and he like bouncing and shit and all around. That was really cool. It was a cool effect. And seeing that used, because see, what I think they did a pretty good job with is, like, first of all, in the opening of the episode, between what I thought was, like I said, Shocker fighting both Ricochet and Ox, that you see the different abilities that all three of them have, but it looks like they're fighting each other. But then when Peter actually fights them in that at the bank or whatever for that heist they were trying to do, it was really interesting because Peter was not prepared, first of all, for Ricochet and Ox. He just saw the Shocker at first and went, oh, Shocker, like, I didn't know heists were, I didn't know you were doing heists, like, implying, like, I thought you did bigger jobs than this. And so throughout that whole first sequence where he fought all three of them, he was getting his ass handed to him. Thank you so much, camera, for going on. I really appreciate that. What the hell, camera? Anyways, what I was trying to say is that it was really throwing him off because he's fought the Shocker before. He's fought him before. But fighting Ricochet and Ox in that first little sequence definitely threw him off because he wasn't prepared to how to fight all of that. Because he's fought, of course, groups of villains before, and every single time he fights a new group of villains or even a new villain entirely, he gets his ass handed to him a little bit because he's still trying to learn how to fight this individual. So when it's a group, it definitely takes more effort in terms of mind and strategy. Because just punching and punching and punching, sure, it'll get you to a certain extent. But when you're facing off against Shocker with those, like, he's really like a sharpshooter with those damn gauntlets. Like, shooting those damn gauntlets, the Shocker. So literally, he has to figure all of that out in terms of him constantly firing. He has to figure out a maneuver around that. Ricochet bouncing over shit, and it's all about trajectory and how he's hitting an angle and how he's ricocheting off of it. For Peter, like, he has to figure out how to, because he had to figure out how to really go against that as well, because at any point he has his back to him, Spidey starts to go off, but what if Ricochet hits the wall here and then bounces, then slams into, he has to figure all that out, and then plus Ox is a giant individual, really powerful. It was a lot, but I'm glad that he was slowly figuring it out, and also too, with being in that cramped little train car, really made him sort of think outside of the box a little bit too, in terms of, I'm gonna throw the gold out. The gold's gonna go out the fucking window. We're gonna derail this damn train. So that was pretty smart on his part. One of my favorite moments actually was, I believe Ox was it was the elevator scene where they're going down and Ox was humming, I believe, the Spectacular Spider-Man theme. Spider-Man. So that was really funny because I'm like, he's talking. I think that's the theme song of the show. He's humming it. Spider-Man. It's like, what? It's catchy. And I wonder if, like, that's like a little nod to, like, them, like, because the theme song is so damn catchy. It really is. So that was really funny how Ox, out of all people, was the one humming it. The opening sequence, too, where he's going to school and he has the backpack, I'm thinking he really shouldn't advertise he has a backpack because that's implying he goes to school. I don't know. But then when they're tossing the football around, Flash, which, by the way, Flash whole thing there, I'll get to that in a second, but he had to go hide under the trash because the guy had to go get the football and he was about to be seen switching clothes. So that was really bad. And of course he smelled like shit. So that was really, really bad. But I thought that was a funny way to kind of make him stink and everything. And people were like, oh my God, like it was really bad, like really bad. Flash told the coach and everything about the fact that Harry opened up about him juicing. Here's the thing. Yes, but not exactly what you think. Because Harry opened up to Flash about why he actually left. And then Flash just took it as, oh, you were juicing up. Well, I mean, you're not wrong, but you know. And then they end the episode with him. He has the formula. I'm thinking he's a smart guy, so maybe he created more. Maybe he had stashed away some that they didn't find. It's not good. And he seemed really upset too when Flash told and exposed that, you know, this win could have been illegal or whatever because of him juicing up to it or whatever. It just, damn. I don't know, but I feel like he's gonna start drinking again. That's my guess. I mean, why would you end the episode with him looking at it and cut away? He's gonna start drinking it again. It's not good. It's not good. But I really enjoyed this episode. Holy crap. What you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. Whatever thoughts you have about the episode, let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. I'm just loving the show, and I really loved how they told the story of this episode, and the action. It was just all great. I can't get enough of this damn show. Whatever thoughts you have, guys, let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.